Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us. The weather forecast this week across New Zealand, Australia and the South Pacific doesn't look overly stormy and in fact quite hot in some areas. Australia definitely wins the heat category. There'll be some areas in Western Australia up to 45 degrees and above coming through right across this week. And in New Zealand, some places will be well over 30 degrees. So it is pretty hot still, considering we are at the end of summer. That's not too surprising. So we've got a bit of a weak front coming into Australia. You can sort of see it curving there, but falling apart as it does so, leaving behind a few showers. We've got a few showers and thunderstorms up in the tropics, the normal kind of stuff, and no signs of any tropical cyclones just yet, although there might be some storms around Rarotonga worth keeping an eye on. And the New Zealand area pretty much dominated by high pressure. On the wind map, which today is brought to you by our friends at predictwind.com, you can see the big strong winds, the gales down here in the roaring 40s where we would expect them down in the Southern Ocean. So the big strong westerly winds of autumn pretty much are starting to build down here, and they'll become more noticeable in the New Zealand area and Southern Australia coming up through March and April. But at the moment, easterlies at the top of New Zealand and then a northerly coming down, quite windy through Cook Strait. You can see the yellow and red shading there. And really not too stormy up around the tropics because we don't have any deep low pressure zones. We don't have the big strong winds as well. So let's take a look at the forecast. Here we are for lunchtime on Tuesday, and this shows 24 hours of rain. The bulk of the colour on this map, the pale blues down here. And you can tell that because it's surrounded by green and yellow, which is also here. So that's the yellow only goes up to 20 millimetres in 24 hours. So there's a little bit of rain here down around Fiordland. We've got a few showers here just around Sydney and north of Sydney. And apart from that, most places don't have a lot of rain on the way, even around Fiji. Mostly dry, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, they're all looking fairly dry at the moment. As we get to Wednesday, not a great deal of change. A bit of wet weather slides up Westland. Few showers moving in around the eastern side. But look, you're actually dominated by quite strong high pressure. So we're seeing a mixture of a bit of La Nina in the north with the easterly winds, a bit more humidity and moisture in the atmosphere down in the South Island, and then the high pressure zone. So that means you'll get some drizzly light rain or showers in the morning, and in the afternoon more likely to get those big heavy downpours. And it's a similar story here, some big downpours bubbling up towards the afternoon. On Thursday, the change in the North Island, more of this easterly flow, that drives in showers along the eastern side, a couple of remaining showers around the South Island, but otherwise this is mostly clear in this zone, which means no rain at all. No rain in this big portion of Australia. We've got a low pressure zone just near Darwin, a couple of downpours and thunderstorms around Brisbane. Otherwise, it's not really looking too dramatic. Now, as we get to the end of the week, on Friday, we've got this high pressure zone over the top of New Zealand, drives in more of those easterly showers around the top of the country, and Australia getting plenty of showers along that eastern side. Very typical La Nina setup to see easterly winds coming through. You can see that low pressure zone, it's dropping away from Rarotonga, but there could be a few downpours up there, but that doesn't look too stormy. And then we've got that low up there around Darwin. That could become a tropical storm, it is possible. And then our final map on Saturday shows if that is a storm, it's very short-lived, it falls apart. The easterly showers continue on, and remember the pale blue just shows a couple of showers. It's not all solid rain, it's just a few showers caught up in the mix. In fact, the pale blue, mostly dry, and around the New Zealand area, again, just a few showers in the mix, not a lot going on. Maybe the biggest feature on Saturday in the New Zealand area, this cold southerly coming through here around Southland with a bit more wet weather for you, but still a fair bit of high pressure coming through. So New Zealand, for the most part, leans drier than average for the next week ahead, and it's still going to be pretty hot. Waikato definitely into the 30-degree mark, as will Auckland at times, and the overnight lows in the north getting back up again around the late teens, so some pretty warm nights on the way, and the South Island still pretty warm by day, but getting some of those cooler nights in the mix. I was told there was a frost in the Canterbury High Country over the weekend, so we are definitely getting towards autumn. The last note, at least in the New Zealand area anyway, our days have about an hour and a half less available sunlight than we did back around Christmas time. So we are definitely getting towards the end of summer, but the heat, it's still there probably for at least another month or so, especially at the top of the country. That's all from me. We'll see you again on Tuesday with our next update.